As you stare at the glowing monitor in your quiet home office, having just poured 3 relentless weeks of grueling intellectual labor into a high-stakes research paper or a critical executive strategy deck, a quiet, nagging unease settles deep into your chest despite your grammar being immaculate. You scroll down to your conclusion and read the definitive declaration you typed just minutes ago. This comprehensive data proves conclusively that our aggressive strategy will double revenue. Alternatively, if you are working within an advanced academic sphere, your eyes lock onto the sentence. This empirical experiment conclusively demonstrates that the hypothesis is false. To an ambitious B2 or even a confident C1 English learner, these crisp, unyielding sentences look pristine, powerful, and completely correct. However, the moment an experienced journal editor or a seasoned corporate strategist lays eyes on those absolute declarations, a sharp, invisible alarm goes off. They immediately recognize them as dangerously naive. You might wonder why elite professionals react with such skepticism to sentences that look grammatically flawless. In the upper echelons of global discourse, absolute certainty is rarely a sign of genius. Rather, it is almost always recognized as an unmistakable symptom of inexperience. Here is a profound linguistic insight. Native experts practically never state anything as an absolute, immutable, eternal fact. Instead, they master the delicate art of epistemic hedging, the linguistic mechanism used to express probability and caution without sacrificing their professional authority. Today, we are going to completely deconstruct the hidden anatomy of sophisticated hedging so that you can elevate your English communication to elite executive mastery. By the time you finish this masterclass, you will possess the tools to protect your credibility and effortlessly defend your research against hostile peer review. Before we dive into the mechanics, let's diagnose why your current approach might be quietly sabotaging your career progression or academic success. When you use rigid terms like always, never, proves, or clearly, you are backing yourself into a structural corner and leaving zero room for error. In high-level corporate strategy, market variables fluctuate wildly, and peer reviewers are literally trained like bloodhounds to sniff out the single weak link in your armor. If you assert that your data proves a point and a reviewer uncovers even one anomalous data point, your entire intellectual thesis collapses like a house of cards. Conversely, when you master strategic hedging, you transform from a dogmatist target into a rigorous, careful, and deeply respected analytical thinker. Let's examine a stark contrast. If you write, "Our findings show unequivocally that market deregulation causes immediate economic growth," you invite aggressive pushback. When you upgrade that to, "The data appear to suggest a strong correlation," though further study is required, the entire dynamic shifts. You didn't weaken your core argument. You armored it against foreseeable counter-arguments and future market anomalies. Let's break down the core architectural framework of sophisticated hedging into 3 comprehensive master-level pillars. Pillar 1 focuses on modal verbs. Advanced hedging requires a grasp of epistemic modality, verbs that signal the provisional status of your knowledge. The C2 level version sounds like this. Poor infrastructure tends to contribute significantly to traffic congestion under standard commuting conditions. Pillar 2 covers adverbial and adjectival mitigation. You cannot rely on weak filler words like maybe or perhaps. Those carry an unmistakable scent of hesitation. Instead, use arguably, predominantly, potentially, or plausible. A C2 professional commands the room by stating, "It is entirely conceivable that our profit margins will widen." Finally, Pillar 3, Attribution and Shielding. This is the technique of distancing yourself from direct personal liability while maintaining your powerful analytical weight. Instead of, "My experiment proves carbon emissions destroy marine ecosystems," a professional writes, "the evidence strongly points to the conclusion that they accelerate degradation." Mastering sophisticated hedging is never about becoming vague or hesitant. It represents achieving absolute intellectual precision through disciplined linguistic control. Take a piece of writing you've recently completed and replace at least 3 rigid declarations with the hedging structures we mastered today. Good luck.